Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a dark melodic Travis Scott type beat, just like the beat I got right here in Logic Pro X. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so I started the melody with this fairly simple chord progression with a key sound from Expand. It's in the polysynth section right here, and it's number 50 called the Vibra Pad. And then for the effects I got Valhalla Supermassive, which is just a reverb plugin. I got RC20 on it with the VHS preset, and then I got an EQ after that cutting out the low end. And I'm going to play it first without the effects, and then I'll play it after with the effects. And just to go over the MIDI right here, it's pretty simple chords, and I really don't know how else to describe it, but like I just started with this one right here, and then I was just clicking around finding another chord that sounded nice. And this chord right here is an inversion like that. I took that top note and pitched it down, and then the same thing here, except in this case I took this chord right here and I pitched the bottom note up to make the inversion. And that was pretty much how I was going about the chords. And then these notes here that are in the darker color are just like to accentuate and help flow into that next chord, and that's the same thing with the blue note as well. And the blue note and the yellow note are just like higher velocities, and the blue one is lower. And this is what the melody sounds like. And this is what the melody sounds like with all the effects on. The next thing I did was I just took those exact same root notes from the previous sound, and I just put it on a piano on addictive keys. And then I put on an EQ, cutting out the lows where the 808 would normally come in, and then the high end as well, because I just wanted this to be like a super bassy sound to add more depth to the melody. And this is what the piano sounds like. The next sound I added was a one-shot from a Cymatics one-shot kit. And the only reason I'm using Alchemy instead of the quick sampler is because I wanted to do the glide effect. And to glide a one-shot in Alchemy, you just want to put in the sampler, then put the number here to 1, put the mode to legato, and then put the glide up a little bit. I have it at 18%. And then for the effects, I got an EQ cutting out the low end and cutting out some mid/highs. Then I got a clip distortion right here, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what this does, but it's kind of like a distortion plugin. So I just picked this preset called Bright Funky Crunch, because I like the way it sounded. Then I went over here to echo, put on the half note delay, 60% feedback, 9% wet. And then I added a low pass at the end at about like 1.3 hertz pretty much. And then it's like boosting it by like maybe 3 or 4 decibels. And it's a super simple pattern. It's the same 4 bars repeated over. And this is what it sounds like. The next sound I added to the melody was a sound from Alchemy called Atlantean Bells, and it's part of the pads. Actually, no, it's not part of the pads section. I'm sure it's probably part of the keys or mallet section, but you could just look up Atlantean Bells and find it. And then what I did was I added a tremolo effect with the mono tremolo. Then I put the smoothing at 12%, the rate at 1/8, and the depth at 88. And a tremolo is basically like the gate effect in gross beat, which is an FL. And then I added an EQ, which cuts out the lows and some mids, and then the super high frequencies like 9K to 20K. And then I got Space Designer on it with the church preset, and the wet is at 31% and the dry is at 0. And once again, a super simple pattern, and this is what it sounds like. After that, guys, I took all 4 of these melodies that I'm highlighting right now, and I bounced them into one WAV file, which you can see right here, which is the blue region right here. And then what I did was I EQ'd out the low end and then lowered the mid section. Then I added halftime with the 1/8 effect, and then that was all I changed on halftime. And I actually put the EQ after the halftime, and this is what the melody sounds like. Alright guys, that's the entire melody. Next up we got the drums. I decided to use a rim shot for this beat instead of a clap, but pretty much I started the drums with this rim shot pattern right here. After the rim shot, I added this hi-hat pattern, and it has very minimal rolls actually. And for the first 2 bars, it's just using different pitches and using breaks to create bounce. And then right here, I got a 1/16 triplet roll. And then once again, this 3rd bar is the same as the 1st bar. And then right here at the 20th bar, which is the 4th bar of the hi-hat loop, it's just using lower pitches, and this right here will be a 1/32 triplet roll, and then this one right here is a 1/16 triplet roll, and this is what the hi-hat sounds like. After the hi-hat, I added in the open hat, which comes in on the 2nd beat of the 1st measure and 5th measure, and this is what it sounds like. After the open hat, I added in the snare pattern right here. Next up, I got the 808 pattern, and if you look closely, these are the exact same notes that I used for the root notes on that piano as well as that main synth, and the only change will be this orange note right here, which I used to like create a nice kind of cool sounding bounce, and you guys will hear that when I play the 808. And then at the end here on this 8th bar, I added in like a sort of like 808 roll, and that's just to develop more bounce to transition, because it's the end of the 8 loops, so you kind of want to have like a nice transition to the next part of the beat. And anyways, this is what the 808 sounds like. And the last thing I added to the drums was the kick, and it pretty much just hits every time the 808 hits, except for that little orange note I showed you guys, which was like to like step up into the next hit to develop more bounce. And I also don't have a kick where the roll is playing at the very end. But other than that, the kick is hitting every time the 808 hits, and this is what it sounds like. With that, guys, that's all the drums, and in case you were wondering, this is what they sound like by themselves. Alright guys, before I get into the arrangement, the only other thing I did was, if you look closely here at this halftime section, I'm going to open up the automation, and on the main track I got this plugin called Cassette Transport. It's a free plugin that does like a tape stop kind of like effect. So I automated the tape stop right here, right before the drop, so I'll play that for you guys real quick, and I'll show the automation as well. So as you guys can see right there, it creates like a really cool effect to come into the drop. And now for the arrangement, I got an 8-bar intro, then an 8-bar pre-hook with the halftime effect playing, then an 8-bar hook, 16-bar verse, then I got a different like 8-bar pre-hook this time, then an 8-bar hook, then a 16-bar verse again, then that 8-bar like pre-hook, and then after the pre-hook it goes back into this 8-bar on the halftime section. Then I got the 8-bar hook again, and then I got a 16-bar outro, first with the regular melodies playing, and then the halftime and the 808 playing for the second half. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.